What is happening, Toronto Raptor fans? We are back from the All-Star break, and the Raptors end up losing to the Miami Heat 120 to 111 in overtime, which is so sad because we had this game actually. I mean, we were down most of this game right away from the start. We got the first 2 points, but then it was like 7-2, 9-2, something like that. Then, whatever, 11-4, blah, 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 as we crept along. But somewhere in the fourth quarter, we came back and took the lead. And I don't. Uh, Now I'm torn. I'm torn. I will say I'm torn because when we were getting pummeled, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, this is good because we've got the easiest schedule for the back half of this, the rest of the season of any other team in the NBA. Ours is the easiest, and so how are we going to maintain this fifth worst record that we've got so that we can get a good draft pick, right? Get good odds, and we still have like a 10% chance, I think is what it is. I think it's 12 and a half if we're in the bottom four or bottom three, sorry. And then we're at about a 10.2% chance or something of getting the number one pick. Um, our odds, for some reason, diminish more so for being in the bottom four. Anyway, I don't know. It's confusing math a little bit, but yeah, like I said, 10% chance in the fifth spot. So let's try and hang on to that because I think once you get six, it goes like to 8% and starts to drop off pretty quickly of you getting the number one pick. And we all want Cooper Flag, right? Everybody seems to want Cooper Flag, even though this Ace Bailey guy seems to be rising as a potential guy. They're saying, Flag is the generational talent that everybody wants to get. So that's the guy I'm rooting for and hoping that we get that number one pick. So I'm watching the game thinking this is good because we've got an easy schedule coming up. We're going to win a few games. We're playing Washington a bunch of times. We're playing some of the other weaker teams like the Charlotte Hornets, etc. So, but as you get caught up in the game, we get some momentum back. RJ just on fire. RJ was killing it. RJ ended up with what, 30 something? RJ 29, sorry, just shy of 30. RJ Barrett is the man. RJ Barrett hit a crazy three. Now it's funny because he's a lefty, so he's always driving down with the left hand, and when he does switch it up, it always surprises everyone. But man, he hit a three where he was like just off, like if the backboard angle's here, he's sitting kind of this little bit of an angle. So he's shooting, but since he's going from his left, it actually was a bank off the glass and in three-pointer. But anyway, you had to see it, I guess. The angle didn't make any sense that it went in, but it's funny because if it was a right-handed shooter, it would have blanked off the side of the backboard. It was such a soft little kiss that it did, and then went into the three. Anyway, but he did another one at the end of the game where, it's getting down to crunch time. I don't know what the time on the clock was, but the score, he made it 107 to 104. I'm jotting down a little bit of notes just to make sure I get to some of the points because sometimes I get on here and I know I got ADD like crazy. So I can end up rambling all over the place and I end up watching the video back going, oh man, I forgot to talk about this and that. So anyway, I am writing down some notes, trying to be more complete. So yeah, he made it 107, 104 with like not a lot of time left. So high off the glass that the way he just kissed it in, so beautiful. And then we end up with the ball at the end of the game where Scottie Barnes ends up in ISO. Why? We make this whole comeback without Scottie Barnes taking many of the shots. In fact, he almost sort of took a step back. The guy's solid on defense. He was in there causing turnovers and was definitely part of the reason that we came back. I'm not trying to Scottie Barnes bash, but why do we turn to him for this ISO ball at the end of games? It doesn't make any sense. RJ Barrett and even Emmanuel Quickly to an extent because he hit a sweet three. Um, are the ones sort of driving this comeback with Grady Dick in there as well, hitting some threes. I don't know where these guys all ended up. We got Grady Dick, only ended up with 9 points. Emmanuel Quickly, though, yeah, had 23. And so it was really the RJ and Emmanuel Quickly show, bringing us back into this game, taking the lead, taking control of it down the stretch. And that would be last play of the game, our last possession, not the last play, because Miami ended up with the ball and could have won it. It was tied at 108, I think. Um, and yeah, they ended up clanking it and missed, and then the buzzer went, and so it went into overtime. And as I said, they won 121-11. Like what? We only got 4 points in overtime. So I guess it ended 107-107. It was at the final. So yeah, I don't understand what they're doing. Are they sitting on the side? No, I'm hoping what their strategy is that we got to get Barnes there so that he can close these games out. But we're bringing in Brandon Ingram, who Brandon Ingram is definitely, arguably, a even better offensive player than Scottie Barnes is going to be. And I still think that this guy's got some upside because he's only 27. He's just like entering his prime, right? He's been an all-star. Not sure how many times. I don't know if he's only been an all-star once, but he was definitely picked higher than Barnes. I think he was picked like number 2 overall. Um, and so I don't know. I don't know why we're not trying to be collaborative and still keep the ball moving in the last minutes of games and sort of giving what the defense gives us and working with that and reacting to that. You know what I mean? Wait for the double team to come over to whoever's bringing the ball up and kick it to the other open guy. And if you have to kick it again to another, like get quality open shots. Because what Scottie Barnes ended up doing with this ISO possession that he had was fumbling it. And again, I've often said I think that a psychologist or a psychiatrist or even a hypnotist would be the best thing for some of these teams to employ. I think that Scottie Barnes needs one. I think that he wants to be the man. I think he's got the personality to do it. I think he has the ability to do it. Like for as far as raw talent goes and size goes, I mean the guy's huge. He should be able to bully ball anybody out of the way. He should be able to just go up wherever he wants. He seems to be able to within the 16 to 18 foot range, just get his spot and he can hit those mid range. But he gets all flustered when and you can see it. He's got the ball. He's like I said, isolating himself, trying to they got the D. They're not even. They're running a little bit of decoy off ball, but everybody in the building knows that Scotty's going to take the ball to the hole, which is also again part of the problem. Why I don't understand that they go and run this plan over and over again when let's surprise him. And RJ was already the hot hand. So it's Quickley. Give it to one of those two. In fact, Scottie Barnes tried the RJ Barrett downhill move. He wasn't using his left hand. He did try and drive with the right. But, RJ does this all the time and somehow manages to get himself in there and at least get the foul and get it off the glass and put it in. Barnes fumbled the ball and coughed it up and didn't even get a shot. And it was a turnover, to which luckily they lost the ball. Or sorry, they missed the ball when they shot at Miami. They couldn't put something in. In fact, again, Scottie on D did a nice move. He stayed with Tyler Hero. He forced Tyler Hero into the paint on an awkward way because Tyler Hero was trying to go right and he forced him to go left. So then he missed with the opposite end. And then the ball ended up getting kicked out to, I don't think it was Bam Adebayo, but someone who was ever in the corner took 2 or 3 steps in and tried to kind of do like a little floater, and it went off the back end of the rim, and then bounced out, and ended up going to overtime where we got pummeled, 13-4. Tyler Hero just started jacking up threes, and then we're fouling him. Anyway, so as I said, I'm torn in this game. I'm glad we lost because I'm actually thinking we need to tank because I've said already multiple times this team, especially watching this game, it reinforces it. We're not consistent enough. Grady Dick was in the Rising Stars game. The guy led his team in scoring. So we know that he can do it. He just needs the reps and, the confidence. Because I'm sure at this the Rising Stars game, I mean, he's one of the vets, right? He's in the second. They do like a first year versus second year kind of guys. I think they did a draft this year, so it wasn't straight up rookies versus second year like they have done in the past. I think there was a mix on the teams, but being a second year guy, he's there more confident, obviously, than some of the rookies and all the guys. And anyway, he was draining threes and played really well. Yeah, he even had limited minutes because I think he had to come off the bench, but still led the team in scoring. They ended up losing. But it wasn't Dick's fault at all. And if we can get this guy out there a little more often, I think that he's going to do it. So anyway, I think we need to tank. I think we need to go for one more little draft pick to just add to our collection of guys, and then that's the way that we can win a championship because we can develop. I'm starting to buy in a little bit more on Jacoby Walter. He had a couple nice threes today. In fact, he ended up with 8, but 2 of 3 from 3. I like Shed coming off the bench, and even Mogbo a little bit. Agbaji, I don't know where his contract's at. I should check that out. But you need some of these rookie contract guys. My point is with the salary cap and the way the hard cap is with the second apron and whatever that they talk about, where it actually starts limiting, your draft picks and a whole bunch of other things, and you can't trade guys out for equal money. You gotta have less, and it really gets complicated if you get into that luxury tax. So it helps to have some rookie contracts, even if they're in their sort of third, fourth year. They're still on their sort of entry level deal. Wow, because we're gonna have to pay. I mean, I know we've got. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Ingram for 3 years signed, and Scottie. But uh, our center, Jakob Poeltl, his contract's going to be up probably at the end of next season, I think. And he's going to want to get paid. The guy's having a career year this year, and clearly we can't win that much without him. I mean, we came back in this game, but there was no Jakob Poeltl at all. And it was obvious that we needed him. And then no battle either. I don't know. I don't understand. Again, I guess you're limited with minutes. But with guys out, like let's get battle in there. Let's get some of these other guys to get some experience. Anyway, a couple other comments quickly before I go. This poor Dick, actually. So speak about Grady Dick for a minute. He got stuffed. He got cock blocked, actually at the rim, and it was so sad because he went up so hard with a dunk that my son was watching the game. He was like, if that had gone in, that would be the highlight of every, YouTube short and all the sports channel highlights this evening of him slamming that dunk. Like, guy could jump. Even actually, there was a jump ball, and you want to talk about white men can't jump. There was a jump ball that Dick, got after and caused, and man, he out jumped. I think it was Davian Mitchell that he was jumping against, so he's a little bit of a shorter guy, but still, a guy that's got hops. I mean, Davian Mitchell can certainly dunk and jump, and yeah, Grady Dick, took it away. But it's the Gillette commercial that Grady Dick is in with Tracy McGrady. I don't know if anybody else notices this, but pay attention to the commercial. It doesn't make any sense what they're doing. It starts off, Grady Dick is shaving, and he's in the mirror, and Tracy McGrady is on his phone and they're sort of talking to each other. Yes, they cut to McGrady wherever he's at, and they're back and forth with Dick, and the whole premise is he's shaving before he goes to practice, and Tracy McGrady goes, "Who shaves on practice day?" And he's like, "My smooth never takes a break or whatever." Anyway, that's not the part that's annoying. At the end of the commercial, they're in the same room, and he throws him a basketball, and McGrady catches it. Like he says something about you got to hook me up with Gillette. And then, yeah, he throws him a ball and he catches the ball. Who put this commercial together? Like, first of all, why are they phoning each other if they're in the same? And it looks like a hotel room rather than a house. But even let's just say it's a house. They're one room away from each other and they're phoning each other. And they seem to be FaceTiming also because they're like, you can see him on video on his phone that they cut to. So these guys they missed each other so much that while Dick went to go shave in the bathroom, Tracy McGrady had to call him and have this conversation. This commercial makes no sense whatsoever. And it bothers me because they play it so many times on the game. There's a few other commercials actually that are annoying. I might have to start commenting on some of the other ones too, but I don't understand this one. I need the premise explained to me. It's so confusing because my thinking is that actually somehow while they were shooting this commercial, Dick might have thrown this guy a ball, and then somebody takes that and puts it in the edits because it's only in the extended version of the commercial. There is a version of the commercial where they don't have that little fun play, fake fun, I call it all the time in these commercials when they're pretending like they're really in the moment and enjoying themselves. But this commercial sucks. Anyway, it doesn't make any sense. It's very upsetting to me. And then two other points I wanted to make here is. Oh yeah, Robinson. we got this center now. Obviously, I said Jakob out. Robinson, decent, started the game. Orlando Robinson, 9 points, not horrible, and 31 minutes though, kind of brutal. But he's jacking up 3-pointers. Why is he doing that? Jakob does not jack up 3-pointers, and I actually like it. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got a Karl Anthony Towns or Victor Wembanyama, even like Vucevic or Jokic, okay, I get it. Those guys are shooting like 35, 38, almost in the 40% range of threes. Good. Jack up threes. Obviously, you're basically a 3-point shooting center. Even like a Joel Embiid, for example. That's cool. Robinson, you're trying to like stay on the team. You're trying, and now maybe he thinks that he's going to hit these, and then he's going to impress everyone, and suddenly we're going to have this revelation that Orlando Robinson is suddenly a big that can hit threes. But come on, guys, stay within yourself. Let's all be realistic, okay? Get in there, get rebounds, bully the ball in the paint, try and do a switch so maybe you end up with a smaller defender on you or whatever. Or if you end up with the big, go after him, back him in, dunk, rebound it off the backboard or whatever for a little layup. Let's keep the game simple, okay? I don't want to see this guy jacking threes up, especially when we're in the middle of the game. Like, he hit one of them, which was funny because, of course, the first one that he attempted, I was yelling at the screen. Number two, he hits, which as he was, giving the ball, I'm going, don't jack up a three. What the hell? Swish. Then I'm like, oh, great. Now I feel silly. But yeah, then the third one again, though, was in time that actually mattered towards the end of the fourth quarter, and he's missing it, and it was brutal. And then the last point that I'd like to make is Mr. Andrew Wiggins, which I'm kind of shocked actually, won for the first time tonight in Toronto, and he is a Canadian, in case you don't know. I was at a game where we lost against Golden State Warriors, but my recollection is that actually he didn't play. That's right. He was benched. He was in not totally street clothes, but sweats and stuff. But you could tell anyway, he wasn't getting up. He wasn't sitting in the game. He was sitting way at the end of the game, way at the end of the bench. There wasn't even a consideration that he was going to play. In fact, I think they did like a little nod because there was something going on with Team Canada, and they acknowledged him or whatever. But yeah, he didn't play in that game, so I guess they didn't count that game as a win. But it's just brutal being a Raptor fan because why? Now this is a weird kind of streak. I guess it's not technically a streak; it's more just a single individual player. But we had this game, and we could have kept this going. That we didn't let this guy ever win a game in Toronto. And it reminded me of last year when the Detroit Pistons were on the longest losing streak in NBA history. And who did they end the streak against? The Raptors. It's sad. It sometimes makes me want to, hide the fact that I got Raptor. That someone this is a Raptor head yet. Oh my God! Like I got to walk around like this. Now, luckily, not everybody knows what the logo is. Even I was down in San Francisco actually when the Raptors were playing Golden State in the playoffs in whatever the heck that was 2019. Yeah, wow. My God, not long ago. Anyway, and I was wearing my Raptor hat, and some guy stopped me at the bar going, whoa, what a cool logo. What the heck is that? What logo is that? I was like, wow, Toronto. People does not get as much play as much as we think that Americans would know some stuff. But as we know about America, they don't know anything about Canada. But it's embarrassing to be a Raptor fan sometimes when all these sort of streaks, seem to come to an end against us. Not fun. Oh well. Anyways, all right. Thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it. The Raptors' next game is coming up. Pardon me. What is it today? Today's the 21st. Yeah. So our next game. Oh my God! What the heck did this thing just do to me here? Now I got dead time. Brutal. Sorry, I clicked on the schedule and it went to some bizarre screen that I've never seen before. It seemed like it was games, but they were laid out in a bizarre way that it was impossible to figure out what the heck is going on and what game is next. Anyway, now I got it under control. So Sunday, The 23rd, we're playing the Phoenix Suns. Oh, that's going to be fun. Kevin Durant coming to town, and then we got the Boston Celtics after that. So I said we have the easiest schedule, but here's a little bit of a hiccup where we're playing some tougher teams, not counting Miami. I think we should be able to destroy Miami, especially without any Jimmy Butler there. And I don't think their team's as deep as everyone kind of says, too. I know they've got the Heat culture, but, big deal. We got Toronto Raptor culture, which is just as, at least recently, as much of a winning sort of way. Certainly not back in the days when we were drafting Andrea Bargnani and we were trading away Vince Carter and benching Tracy McGrady. Oh my God, those were the most horrible Raptor years of all. But yeah, anyway, so that's what's coming up. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, Mr. Beast for President, and see ya.